I want you to see first, number one, I want you to see what he lost. It's unbelievable. Job 1, verse 13. Now there was a day when his sons and daughters, they were eating and drinking wine in their older brother's house. And there's a messenger came to Job and said, the ox were plowing, the donkeys were feeding beside them. Then the Sabeans raided them and took them away. Indeed, they have killed the servants with the edge of the sword. And alone I have escaped to tell you. Your servants has been slaughtered, the bodies everywhere. Why you can't even comprehend that, while they were still speaking, another one came and said, and the fire of God fell from heaven and burned up your sheep and your servants and consumed them, and I alone escaped. Now, before you can ever get over the blood and the horror of that, now you got the smell of flesh being burned. I don't know if you've ever smelled it, but it's terrible. You're almost in shock by now. And while he was still speaking, another one came and said, the cherubims formed 3 bands. They raided your camels and they took them away. Yes, they killed the servants with the edge of a sword, and I alone have escaped to tell you. I mean, by now you wish they almost wouldn't have been able to escape because you don't want any more bad news. You would think surely by now. Can you imagine everything you heard? You think it cannot get any worse. While still speaking, another one came and said, your sons and your daughters, they were eating and drinking wine in your older brother's house. And a great wind came from the wilderness, struck the 4 corners of the house. Can you imagine? And it fell on the young people, and they're dead. And I alone escaped to tell you. He was a man of integrity, and a lot of times y'all don't even really realize when you really have integrity, it means you're not going to quit, you're not going to give up no matter how bad things are. And today, people don't really know what integrity is. Integrity is, man, you have a bad day on your job, you don't quit. Integrity is when you're married and you and your wife have it out, you don't walk out. Integrity is, listen, I'm going to see it through. I'm not going to give up. You don't quit on God. Do you know how easy it is? How many times you want to blame God and quit on God? I do. But he was a man of integrity. He said, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to quit. I feel like cussing God. See, when tragedy comes, the first person we should turn to is God. And see, even now, if you have a tragedy, even if you don't have a close relationship with God, I'm telling you, if you've been far from God, run back to God. See, I believe that Job already had a close relationship with God. I believe that's how Job got through it. The Bible says in Psalms 50:15, call upon the name of the Lord in time of trouble. He'll deliver you and he'll glorify me. See, I believe the closer you are to God, there's at least 3 things that happen. The closer you are to God when tragedy comes, the faster you'll turn to God. But more important than that, the faster you get your comfort from God.